Hey everyone, it's Aeon here. You can call me Aeon or Aeon or whatever you'd like to call me. Here to show you guys a little bit of information about a game I'm playing called Elvenar. It is a flash-based game that you can play from your browser, and it's more for the people that need something to do in their downtime. It'd be like something that you'd play on your phone, except for it's on the computer. It's a city building game, and the goal is to you can choose either human or elves, as you can see here, and depending on which of these you choose, you have different building sizes. Um, Humans, there's also several types of goods, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 as they're called. I can't remember their official names, but humans have an advantage on the tier 1 goods. Their production is higher, and elves have a advantage on tier 2 and tier 3 goods. Their production is higher. Eventually, it will all even out, and everyone will have the same production by the time you get to the end of the research charts. Uh, it doesn't really matter which you choose. Both are pretty equally playable. So really, it just I guess depends on what type of buildings you prefer. I myself kind of prefer the human buildings more, and that is what my main account is. So for this demo, as I'm going to walk through here, I created a new account so I could show you guys how to start this game up, and hopefully the audio is not super loud. I don't even know if the audio is playing right now, but all right. So I'm gonna choose human. So when you enter Elvenar for the first time, it automatically chooses a world for you. There are 5 different worlds in the US. There are also different regions, so depending on what region you play, there are different number of worlds. Once you complete the tutorial, you can actually log out and switch to a different world and choose whichever one you want. But you have to complete the tutorial at least once before it'll let you do that. So what we got here, this guy will walk us through how to set up our basic city, give us a few basic quests, and basically kind of walk you through how to play things. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is I'm going to go through this tutorial and kind of point out some of my own notes as we do this. So the guy says, "What a nice spot you found. I'm Ronan, the builder. Old Aldon sent me to guide you through your first steps. If you want to build a big city, we should start right away." And he wants me to click on this little building icon. So it looks like they want me to build a residence. So if you look at this thing, your people live in these buildings. You can visit them regularly to collect coins as taxes. So basically, buildings give you the benefit. Well, let's start with the requirements. It takes 10 seconds to build. Requires 1 builder. Takes a 2x2 area of space, and it needs to be connected by a road. The cost to build this level 1 residence is 200 gold. As you can see, we have 12,000 gold and 1,200 supplies to start with at the top. We also have 200 diamonds, but we will use some of those in a little bit. Excuse me. Now, the benefit you get from building a residence is 31 population, and you gain 440 gold per over the time, apparently. 88 per hour, that's the important number. And you can collect early after 3 minutes. So, we're going to go ahead and build one of these guys. They give you a dedicated area to build in. I can't build outside of this yet, but once you're done with the tutorial, you can move these around to wherever you need to. You can see that we have a limited area that we can build in. We can't build out here in this dark gray area, or the shaded area. As you play the game, you can buy more of these expansions for either diamonds, or by conquering provinces, or just going through the research tree. So we will place this resident here. Great, we started our construction. Great. We started constructing our first residence. Click here to continue. Now all we need is a street that connects the main hall to the new building. So they want me to go build again. You get your footpath here, which is your very, very basic road. It costs no money to build, so if you just need a quick road for something, these are pretty nice. Especially if they're going to be temporary, because they cost nothing and just really easy to throw down. So it takes a 1x1 area, and you have to start it at your main hall. if you wanted to connect to whatever building. So here, they give us a starting path of right here beside the main hall. And they want us to... Oh, so the other thing is you click a start and end path. So if I were to click here, the road would be 3 spots long, but they want me to click over here, which gives me a nice little path to build things along. Yes, that will do. Now you can start constructing the residence soon. Soon your first citizens can move in. Click to continue. It's time to show you how to research new technologies. This allows us to build a variety of buildings. So the little book here is your research area. It will take us to a separate page. And you can either click here or on this thing, but in this particular tutorial, I want you to click on the little beaker. Once you open it up, you can see the progress. We can see this one is at 0 of 3, which means it requires 3 of the little books here at the top. And we start with 10. So you have the option of building, you can't really see it on the arrow. You can add 1 research point, or you can add 3. In this demo, they will only allow you to do 3. And once you fill the requirements up here, and the activation cost right here, which is 200 golds, we'll keep plenty of gold still, we can then activate the technology. Congratulations, you've unlocked the workshop. You can now put up new workshops, build a workshop to produce Congratulations, you've unlocked the workshop. You can now put up workshops, build a workshop to produce supplies. Click awesome to confirm. Now, they want us to return back to the home page. Remember that we need to invest our knowledge points to research new technologies. You can see how many knowledge points you have available above. It will slowly increase over time. So if you look, we spent 3 just now, so we're down to 7. You can have a max of 10 at one time. There are spells that will increase this though. There's a little timer here below, so we will automatically gain 1 knowledge point per hour up until the max of 10. So you want to come back and at least check the game every 10 hours to make sure you don't lose any knowledge points. Great news! Our first citizens have moved in. We can now build workshops. Build a workshop where they can produce supplies for our town. So back to the little build menu. Now you can see we have workshops available to us. So these produce the supplies, these little hammer and wrench up here. Takes 10 seconds to build, requires 1 builder. Takes 2 by 2 space, needs to be connected to a road, and it requires 15 population. So that's one of the things you need to pay attention to. The more type of buildings like workshops and military goods and all these other types of buildings require population and culture, which we'll get to a little bit later. So as you can see, we currently have 31 population up here. So I actually only have enough population to build 2 workshops. So at some point I'm going to build more residences. And again, they give us a limited area, limited box where we can build this. Again, you can move it once you're done. Well done. The building is already connected to a street, so the construction can begin right away. And if you mouse over, you can see the countdown. Our citizens pay taxes and produce supplies. In return, we should keep them happy, shouldn't we? For that, we need more culture in our city. Let's research something. Again, so you can also get a little bit of information about the research tree by the little icons by it. So you can see that the hammer and wrench match the supplies, so that means it's probably either, in this case, the initial unlock or an upgrade. This little, man, I don't know what interesting that is. That is our culture symbol, and so by researching this, we unlock new culture buildings. Again, progress 0.5. We do have 5 KP, so we can unlock this. And we meet the activation cost since we still have 11,000 gold, so we can activate it. And by doing this, we unlock the glorious statue, the prison of the condemned, and blue flowers. Very well done. We can now build some nice cultural buildings in our city. Don't forget to place one of those culture buildings in your town. Just researching them won't do the trick. So now they're telling us to go down here, check out our fancy new culture tab. And here's the 3 buildings we just unlocked. We'll go across the cost here. So it takes 10 seconds to build, requires 1 builder, takes 1 by 1 space, costs 100 gold and 25 supplies, and the benefit is 21 culture. This one here. Oh, I can't mouse over this one. Alright, I'll show you the rest of these in a second. It gives us a place where it wants us to build it. Easy, isn't it? If your town has many culture buildings, you can collect more taxes from residents, and your workshops produce more supplies. Keep that in mind. I forgot to mention something important about the workshop we built. We will only produce supplies if you order them. So then we have to click on the workshop. And once you do, it opens up a menu. Different types of building, or different types of supply levels you can build. So we get 4 every 5 minutes. We get 11 in 15 minutes, 29 in an hour, 56 in 3 hours, 96 in 9 hours, and 141 a day. One thing to mention is they are not equal across the board. So if you look, this is 5 minutes for 4 supplies, and this is 15 minutes for 11. Well, if you did this 3 times, you get 12. So you would you lose 1 by doing 15 minutes. So the thing to remember is convenience. So if you're going to go to bed, you'll probably sleep for close to maybe 9 hours, maybe 3 if you're having a really bad night. So before you go to bed, you're probably going to start these 9-hour ones. So you will lose a considerable amount of supplies by doing that, but you're not going to, unless you're going to wake up every 5 minutes during the middle of the night, you're not going to be able to keep up with this. But when you're on during the day and you have the time, you'll want to either do the 5 minutes or the 15-minute ones. Those are the most efficient for supplies versus their cost. So in this case, it wants us to do a 5-minute one. Yeah, sorry about that, but now your people are working. Just keep them busy and order new stuff when they are done to keep your supply income steady. Sometimes you might want to rearrange your town. Thankfully, you can move all your buildings. Convenient, right? Try it with your culture building. Place it wherever you want. Now, it is a little misleading because they tell us we can place it wherever we want, but then they say, hey, you have to place it in this little area. So I can place it anywhere inside this little green area. I'll just do it where the arrow is. And then once you're done moving stuff, click the done button. Looks much better, right? Just remember that most buildings need a street connected to them to the main hall. Culture buildings don't need one, but residents and workshops do. Also to note, this is your... Oh, I can't mouse over it yet. Oh, they're not going to let me do it. The building over here on the right, here, is the builder's hut. And so we currently have 1 builder. But you can have most of 5 builders by buying them with diamonds. Which is a currency you basically can only get from spending real money on the game. So the builder's hut and any culture items do not require a road, but pretty much everything else has to be connected to a road somehow. There is another important thing I want to show you. I can upgrade almost every building in your town to make it more efficient and beautiful. You will love this, I promise. So now if you click once, so when there's a little coin above, you gotta click on it to gather the coins. But then when there's no coin on it, you click it will bring up this little menu here. One of the other tabs we have is the upgrade tab. And it will show our current level, which is the first one, and the new level, which is the second one. So if we were to upgrade this, we would gain, we'd basically go from making 88 an hour to 127 an hour. The production time, so this is how long it takes till it gets full. So if you, basically if you come back 5 hours, you'll be maxed able to have that 540 gold, and if you come back later than that, you're actually just losing gold. So you want to try to come back before the production time reaches. The benefit population will increase by 4 to 35, and we will get ranking points, which is basically your global score on how you compare to everyone else in the world. To make this upgrade to level 2, we will need 1 minute of time, 1 minute of our builder's time, 2x2 area, which is the area we already have, so we don't have to worry about that. Eventually buildings will grow to bigger sizes, and you will have to rearrange your city to fit them. And it'll take 3 culture of our 21 culture to build. It also costs 1,000 gold, so we still have 10,000 gold there. We're still doing pretty good. And I can't quite see how many supplies that we have there, but since we have the upgrade button available, I assume that we have enough to upgrade. Okay, so it costs 130 supplies. Upgrading buildings takes a while and lowers your culture, but when you run out of space, they are your best option. You can even upgrade the same building several times. Great work! Now you know the basics for building your town. But there is more stuff to do. You can also gain and explore the area outside your town to gain knowledge faster. So here's the world map. I'll go ahead and point this out right now. Sorry. Whenever you go to the world map, you have what you are called are boosted goods. Can I mouse over this? I can't mouse over this at the top. I'll see if I can show you that later. But right now it wants us to go to the steel, which is going to be one of our boosted goods, and unlock it. So if we scout it, it takes about 3 seconds, so it's pretty quickly. That scout time will go up as you expand your area. Very well, scouts have discovered the first province in our town. From there, we can also see some neighboring towns. You might want to visit them later. So, scouting is one province unlocked. Lucky Girl and Sandia. And so, we can go there and do what's called Helping Hands, and that will give us some gold and possibly some supplies. For now, we should visit the first province. Our scouts marked some spots where they saw some suspicious people. Maybe we can find something here. So now it wants us to go into this province, and there are, what, 8 provinces in here, or 8 little battle areas, basically. And if you click on one of them, it brings up this little pop-up. My lord, your orders are needed. Your scouts have been held back by unknown savages and shady characters. How should we proceed? You can see we get one little knowledge book, we get a relic, which will be used later, and then we get 1 global score. There's 2 ways you can deal with one of these battles, one of these disagreements, I guess. You can negotiate, which is what it wants us to do in this case, by paying 77 supplies and 3 steel. I don't know how we got steel, but apparently we got steel from doing a quest. The other thing you can do is you can actually fight and try to defeat the shady characters and save your supplies. But in this case, it will only let us negotiate, so let's go ahead and do that. So now you can see we got the reward. So the reward's the same whether you negotiate or fight. And then awesome confirmation button. Well, that encounter was a bit strange, but we got a mysterious relic that will certainly increase our knowledge of this problem. It's very good. I think you're ready for your journey in the Elvenar. However, you will want to build a large city. I suggest you hire a helper for me. Let's see how that works. So I guess our little friend down here was actually our builder. Our one little lonely builder. So as I mentioned earlier, this is the builder's hut. You can remember they gave us 200 free diamonds when we started. Well, now it wants us to use 100 of those diamonds to unlock a second builder. Gives you a little confirmation button to whether or not you want to spend diamonds, and you can click this checkbox to not show it again if you want, but I'll leave that unchecked. Also, I don't think it's going to let me do that. Yeah, it won't let me do that right now. So my only option is to click yes. Thanks a lot. This investment will certainly pay off. And I will mention that it is very beneficial to have more builders. Usually when you start the game, it will give you an option to pay 10 bucks to the game, and that will allow you to get, I think, 1,100 diamonds, and it will also give you a free builder. So that will give you 3 builders just for paying the 10 bucks. Plus with that 1,100 diamonds you got, you can then buy another builder. So you can have 4 builders for 10 bucks. And in my opinion, it's well worth it. I don't know about getting the 5th builder. The 5th builder I think costs like 20 or 25 bucks. So you might want to skip out on that one if you don't plan on don't want to spend a whole lot on this game. but by far $10 for those two builders is a very good deal. Thanks a lot, this investment will certainly pay off. I have nothing more to teach you, but here is one last advice. Listen to old Aldon. You'll meet him soon. In the meantime, give me some buildings to construct. Good luck. So we got little quests. There'll usually be 2. If there's events, there'll be more. Events like Christmas, or there's one on Halloween. There may be one coming up for Valentine's or Easter, I'm not sure. Alright, so I guess this is old Aldon. Well, we meet again. It's incredible. Out of the wasteland in Elvenar, a new Elvenar is being built. More and more people are moving here. Back to work. Let's build another residence. So, a lot of times I don't pay much attention to these up here. I look at the rewards, which is 500 gold and 1,000 supplies. Sorry, 100 supplies. And the requirement to complete this quest is to have a second residence. So, okay to confirm. Then we go to our building down here. And what's the second residence? So we will buy that. And let's just put it right beside it. While we're waiting on that, let's go ahead and collect our gold and our supplies. And as I mentioned earlier, the only way to get more is to schedule another build. So we will start one. And this quest is now complete. So we will go ahead and click on it again. See that's 2 of 2, and we can finish the quest. We got our rewards. And now basically repeat the process until we get the second icon. So now it wants us to have a second workshop. So again, we go in here, grab a workshop, build it. It will take 10 seconds, so we can wait for that. Alright, and that quest is now complete. We got 1,000 gold and 100 supplies, so we're doing pretty well. Start a beverages. So beverages is the 5-minute one. You can see the names over here. So when I start that build, it should complete. So we got more gold but less supplies that time. Have 4 residences, okay. So we need to build 2 more residences. One here. And I guess, see, I could build one here, but then the road's not connected. So I'm gonna go ahead and put it here. Alright, quest is completed. So this one was less gold, but more supplies. The other thing you need to pay attention to, is he going to tell me? So if you mouse over them, you can also click on your main hall here. You have a coin capacity of 27,000 coins, so if you hit that you can't get any more. Same with supply capacity of 2,700. So I need to make sure that I never fill those up, otherwise I will just be losing money or supplies. Oh look, we finally got the second quest. So this one wants us to have a 3rd workshop, it looks like, which means I will need a longer road. And let's move this guy over here. I, for some reason, like all my buildings to be right beside each other. So it wants us to build a 3rd workshop. So there we go. And while we're waiting on that, this one says to collect coins. So there we go. That was easy enough. And our 3rd workshop finished building. Now it wants us to upgrade 2 residences. So let's do, so this one here is level 2, these other ones are level 1. I like them to be the same color. So this will take about a minute to upgrade. Alright, started those 2. Don't need to finish them apparently. Alright, so we gained some supplies. These are all tier 1 goods. And I guess we'll probably be using these soon. Let's see. No, come back, all done. Alright, well I didn't see what he said, but I'm sure it was very inspirational. And hopefully you got to read it. Oh, here's all done. Okay, so it looks like he wants us to negotiate 2 encounters. So we did this earlier. We have to go to the world map, which is the little world. And we'll go back to the same province we opened earlier. And we'll click this. So he still wants us to negotiate, so right, I'll just grab 2 and negotiate them. Alright, that quest is now completed. Alright, so here, here's the thing I mentioned earlier. So for 10 bucks, or what is that, 10 euros and 8 pounds, I'm not very good at the signs, you can get 1100 diamonds and 1 builder. And like I said, the third builder is nice, and you can buy that 4th builder for $1,000. So you have 7 days to make the decision. So once if you say no, I don't want to do this, and just go back to the home page, or sorry, go back to your home. Up here in the top right corner is that same offer. So you have about a week after you start playing to decide whether or not you want to spend 10 bucks. Once that's gone, there's no way to get it back, as far as I know. So I really would encourage you not to let that opportunity go by. You might play it for a couple days to see if you're actually going to play the game for a long period of time before you make that purchase, but if you plan to play this more than a week, really think about paying that 10 bucks. Alright, so back to our quest. Have a main hall at level 2 or higher. Okay. Have 2 glorious statues. So our builders are done. Let me build the statue first because that is easy enough. Now, here's the thing I was trying to mention earlier. Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. You get one of these 3 out of each section is your boosted good, and that's the one you should focus on. So earlier we saw that ours was steel. Let me go show you again. Boosted goods. Your boosted goods are determined by the 3 provinces close to you. So the one directly above you, which is steel. The one directly to your left diagonal here, which is magic dust. And then the third one, which is scrolls. So this is tier 1, this is tier 2, and this is tier 3. So, steel, scrolls, magic dust. If you go look at relics, you can see how many relics you have for each. Your relics determines how much your boost is for each of the things. We haven't unlocked the boost in the research menu, so we don't actually get that boost yet. But also you can see all 3 of your boosts right here. So steel, scrolls, magic dust. This wants us to upgrade our building, which is 10 minutes. It'll take a little bit of time, but we'll go ahead and do that. So now I can go show you some more stuff on the research tree. So, we were here, and here's our first tier 1 factories that we can unlock. Steel is our boost for this. Your boost is chosen randomly. You don't really get to choose it. The only way to change it is make a new account. So we have steel, and you can also see that steel production boost is down the line. Another thing to note on the research tree is the arrows. So if I say want the advanced main hall, well then I can look back and see that it needs both the armory and the trader to get there. And then so the trader requires the steel production boost, and the steel production boost actually requires all 3 of these to be unlocked. And then the other one was here, so armor requires squad size 1 and crossbowman to be unlocked. And crossbowman requires the barracks as well as squad 1. So if I wanted the advanced main hall, the only one I could skip is the city expansion 1. The rest of these I'd have to research. The research chart is broken into chapters. So this is chapter 1 called the Arrival. Chapter 2 is called Evolving. And the only way to unlock the chest on top of this button that you can get to it is to complete a certain number of provinces. So if you were to research all the way through here and not do any battles whatsoever, or negotiate or conquer any provinces, you wouldn't be able to proceed until you went back and completed 10 provinces. So let's go look at provinces real quick. So this one little circle is a single province. So to complete 10, you're gonna have to scout. So I'm gonna go ahead and scout the boosted ones, but I would normally probably scout everything in the circle of me. This also, as you can see, is unlocking more neighbors around me. Oh, now see, I've done 3, and now I went to the 4th one, and the time went from 4 seconds to 1 minute. As you expand out beyond the area, it will start taking days to scout things. So make sure you plan ahead if you need to do some scouting. Let's go check out the research tree again. So we have 5 knowledge points right now. So that's not enough to unlock anything. You can, however, go into one of these and just drop 5 into it. You don't have to complete it all immediately. But we'll hold on to these and see if there's something else we need to do with these. We are still, however, waiting for the build to complete. So maybe I will just speed up this part. Alright, well, it looks like we're almost done now, finally. Yay, now that quest is complete. As you can see, our rewards this time were also goods instead of coins and supplies. Negotiate 3 encounters. It really likes to make us do that. So let's go back and continue for the steel one that we were working on. So we're doing negotiate 3 more times, okay. Our next steps will depend on your decision. Will you research the barracks or discover more about warfare? Or will you focus on the town building and research the steel manufactory? Oh look, now we have those 8 that we needed earlier. So the quest guided us to unlock the 8. Oh, another tip to note, instead of pressing the research button, you can actually hit the R key to bring up the research menu. There are quite a few hotkeys. If you're on this screen, W will take you to world, and C will take you back home. In my case, I usually prefer to negotiate over fighting, so for this tutorial I will head us down that direction as well. So since I want to focus on boosted, I will go ahead and get the steel. Click here, got the 150 supplies, I can activate. Now we've got access to the steel manufactories. So as I mentioned, you can press C to go back. Oh, one more thing I will mention. So there are 2 ways you can collect stuff on your screen. You can click on each building individually, which kind of takes a while after a while, especially when you start like expanding across this whole map. The other way to do it is to click and drag. So as you see, clicking and dragging just on the map just moves the map. But if I were to say click on this building and drag across, it will actually just collect all 3 of those. So, see? That's way easier when you start having a bunch of buildings to click Unfortunately, there's no way to just like tell all three of these to do the same thing. I'm hoping maybe one day they might decide to do that for us or add that feature in. But when you click on this, these these 6 keys are hotkeyed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in my case, I want to do the first one again, so I will press 1. Now, unlock steel. Oh, I didn't even see that quest. Unlock steel manufacturer barracks. Alright, looks like we've got 2 again. So start 3 beverages. Ah, crap. I just did that. So the other thing you can do is go back into these and cancel the production. You get whatever you spent back. So we'll do this the right way this time. Alright, now that quest is complete. The relics you have collected are immeasurable worth. They appear to be all that is left of legendary Elvenar. For the next step, we need to have enough coins. So once it's to gain 20 coins, I will have to wait a little bit for that. So the other one it has is finish the first province. So looks like we have 2 more left to complete here. And let's go ahead and negotiate. Oh, we'll do a fight. Let's do a fight on this last guy here. So as you can see, they started you out with some soldiers. You have an axe barbarian, which is your light melee unit, a light range unit, which is your crossbowman, and your heavy melee unit, which is your paladin. So you don't have access to these two. You can't make more of these yet. But once you build your barracks, you will be able to build the axe barbarian immediately. As you mouse over them, you can see what they're best against. And first, let's go look at these guys. So we can see that these guys are heavy melee units, and that they are good against light units and heavy range units. So this guy's a light unit, we don't want to use him. This guy is a light range unit, which your book says is good against heavy melee units. And then finally, this guy is a heavy melee unit, so they're about even with their own type. So for this purpose, since there is only heavy melee, and heavy melee is not good against light range, then we will want to use this guy. You can see our squad size is also considerably larger. You can also auto fight versus normal fight. Auto fight is what I tend to do a lot of the time when I know I'm going to win. There are some battles where you're at a disadvantage and you will want to fight them manually. And we'll go ahead and do this once. So as you see, there are all the people on the battlefield. Each person gets a random, or gets an initiative based on their type. I think the light ranges have a much higher initiative. It looks like I am out of range to being able to attack these in the first turn. So I will actually not surrender. So you can see the buttons here. This will turn on the basically automate the battle, so it's kind of like the other thing, but I hear that this is actually a little bit better for you. You can speed up the battle speed by clicking that. I normally keep that on the max speed. You can surrender if you're losing and you don't want to lose any more troops. And then you can see the order of the people that are going to go. So all my guys are going to go first, and then they go. But since this guy can't reach, I have no reason to move him, so I'm going to end his turn. They also can't reach, so I'm going to end turn again. He can actually reach. And he can reach. Alright, so they moved up a few steps, so now I can attack them. You can see their hit points down here as well, so this guy's taking quite a bit of damage. So I'm gonna go try and kill that guy first, it looks like. Alright, one of them is down. I could probably move away. So the idea is for him not to be able to hit me. Looks like he got in range finally. Oops, he may not. Oh, he's still in range. Oh, he was not in range, so I moved him too far back. Crap. Alright, so I lost one guy. Yeah, I lost one guy out of one of my archers. And defeated both of them. See, I get the same rewards. And whenever you complete a province, sometimes you will get a expansion, which will let us unlock more area to build in on the map. So now if we go back home, let's complete this quest. Let's see what we got. So I have 4 residences at level 2 or higher, have 2 workshops at level 2 or higher. Alright, so we'll collect these first. And we will upgrade these to level 2. Let's make use of that expansion that we got. So there's 2 ways. You can click the move button. We'll let you just click on one of these and then you can place your province expansion. The other option is to go to build, you go to expansion tab on the right, and then you can click this guy and then it will let you choose where to build. I think I usually prefer the move method. It doesn't necessarily matter where you expand to, it's really based on your needs, since humans and elves have slightly different building paths. That might make a difference for you. If you notice, my buildings are all 2 by 2. You want to keep your roads on the side where they touch as little as the building as possible. So for example, this builder hut is a 2 by 3. So if it needed a road, which it doesn't, I would want the road to be touching the 2 side instead of 3 side. I, however, know from playing this game that residences are going to expand to 3 by 3s. 3 by 2s, sorry. So in that case, my roads are basically going to be going down this direction. So if I were going to expand, I'm probably going to expand this way. And now if you go to click the move button again, you see I have this extra area to build into. And that will let me continue the road all the way down here, and it will look like I can build another 2 or 3 either workshops or residences depending on what I need. So the other thing to mention is usually when there's 2 quests like this, at least one of them is declinable. So for some reason, if I don't want to complete a province, I can just decline it and confirm it. For the most part, these declinable quests are repeatable. Some of them aren't. Like I believe this one is probably not a repeatable. There's also a lot of residences to have really early in this game. Oh yeah, I still need to collect my 20 coins. Now, they want me to have that steel manufacturing. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this road all the way out, since they don't cost anything, they're free. If we go to our goods, we now see that we have steel manufactories, and they are pretty much, they follow the same thing. They are 2 by 2s. They need 38 population. We have 50, so we're good there. And we can just basically build it wherever we want. I'll just put it out here. How long was that going to take? A minute and a half? Buildings. So workshops. I was going to explain about the points. As you saw, this one was worth like 38 points, and these guys were only worth like 2 or 3 points each. Workshops, I think, do start giving you more points later on, but residences barely ever give you a lot of points. So if you're trying to get to #1 in the world, having all workshops is not going to do it. However, I think I've shown you pretty much the basics of everything. I can show you more stuff later in another video, but eventually you'll start getting the trader, the barracks, what else is there? The Magic Academy. Those are all kind of more advanced buildings. They come later down in the tree. So the trader is here. You go to that one first. The armory is here. Barracks is here. That allows you to build more troops. Like I said, you can only build the light melee to start with. Having more armories lets you build more of a troop type at once. So, say, I think you get 6 to start with. So you make 6 at a time. Say that takes about 2 hours. Well, you're going to be gone at work maybe for 8 hours. So you're going to want to build a couple armories so that you can build, say, 20 or 30 troops at a time. That way it'd be maybe take that whole 8 hours, or take 4 hours, depending on if you got lunch break or something. You want to try to keep building armory, building troops constantly, because if you're not building troops, if you're not gaining supplies, if they're sitting there idle, you're basically wasting time. And if you're trying to progress as fast as you can in this game, you don't want to do that. And finally, here's the Magic Academy. So I just want to thank you guys for watching this. I hope you learned something. If you're new to Elvenar, look for a fellowship. Those are very important. There's the community forums, which you have access to down here in the bottom left. Forums in the wiki. Also, I encourage going to the wiki and learning about some stuff. They give you a lot of stats. If you really want to learn how the game progresses throughout the gameplay, throughout the chapters. But I plan on making more of these, and if you guys think I missed something, if I could have done something better, let me know. I'm always looking for improvements, and I hope that you guys like Elvenar and will stick around and play it. It's a good game, and it's very fun. And for me, it helps me get into my numbers nerdiness. I have spreadsheets, calculating out the exact time that I will get to stuff, setting alarms for when my buildings are done. I just really get into some games like this, and I like to try to optimize as much as possible. Like I have a whole I use Elven Architect to lay out my land, try to make use of every inch, every square as well as I can. I just find it really addicting, and I hope maybe you guys do too. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.